Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, welcome to the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl Chanel, and of course, I am blessed to be here with my bestie, Miss Queen B. And it is a Tuesday. We are here, Miss Queen B. Look at your smile. How are you?
I'm great, Chanel. How are you? I'm tired of you.
Listen, we are blessed. It is Tuesday. We are here.
Happy Tuesday.
We have an amazing guest who's going to be in a virtual studio with us. And, I'm happy today.
Are you?
I am. Listen,
tell me about what makes you happy today.
What makes me so happy? Yeah. So our guest that's coming on the show today, I absolutely love. You know that I love, you love, we all love as a group. Absolutely amazing human being. And I am so interested to talk about his most recent project. All of his projects, because I follow him on social media, are extremely interesting to me. I'm always liking and loving, everything that he does, but I'm just so excited to be talking about this today. But I know we have to, have our own conversation before we get there, because that's a little later on in the show. But again, first and foremost, like we started the show all of 2020, first and foremost, how are you is the question.
I have no real complaints. Ramadan is over. Life is right. Ramadan is over. It was a blessed one. It wasn't as probably as I'd like it to be, but I managed and I pulled through. I took a kind of a sabbatical this weekend, which was really, really good for my mental. I'm just segueing into what we talked about last week, meaning, take your mental time and days and things like that. So I did that this past weekend, and it was great. It was great for me.
Yeah.
It was really great. I'm super excited because this week is supposed to be beautiful every single day in the 80s, which is, I didn't get out much today. I got out for a little second. I had to run a couple errands, but I love this weather. I love this type of, it makes my soul happy.
Yeah. I wasn't as ecstatic about this weekend's weather because I got a bunch of house stuff to do. So today painting decks, this weekend remulching and landscaping the backyard, all of that to just get prepared before Memorial Day, the official start of summer, and trying to make sure that we're all good for the rest of the season. So I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Home Depot. I do have a tip for the ladies. Any ladies that are watching today. I'm currently in a relationship. However, in the event that you are not in a relationship, I'm going to give you a tip.
We're going somewhere.
I'm going to give you a tip. Put on a pair of biking shorts and a baseball cap and take your behind to Home Depot on a Saturday morning.
Home Depot is where it's at.
Okay. Listen, in our age group, you're not going to the club anymore. You really ain't hanging out at lounges because of COVID.
That's really the grocery store.
Listen, you are meeting partners in the grocery store and big box stores. Grocery stores, Walmart, Home Depot, Costco, BJ's, Lowe's. Ladies, These are your stomping grounds in this particular age group, and this is where your matches are. Why? Because ain't nobody into
you want him to fix something?
No, but nobody is into that whole going out, spending a bunch of unnecessary money on a bunch of drinks when you could buy a bottle and drink in your house for free. But people are interested in fixing up their house and doing stuff and handling responsibilities. So people will be in there, men, women, everybody's in these stores on a Saturday morning handling their responsibilities for their homes. I guarantee, you put a pair of biking shorts on and a baseball cap.
See, you gave a shout out to the people that are seeking males. I just want to know someone like me. I'm taken, but I'm just saying somebody that seeks like me. Where would you find her at?
Why aren't you in Home Depot too? Y'all have a home.
Oh, okay.
You got a home. Why aren't you in Walmart or Target too? Y'all
I don't know if I want her to lift lumber, but
it doesn't have to be lumber. Home Depot is one of my favorite stores. But what I'm saying to you is, y'all are in Walmart.
Are
y'all
we going there for the locks? Changing the locks or something? Like
you can go in there for anything. Home Depot is an amazing and absolutely beautiful place. So I mean, just go for Target. I mean, we were in Target together. Like. Just walk around the store, just roam.
Well, we do Target. I'm just not a fan of I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why I've ever I had to buy a shovel.
You know
what? Not for a body either, but I had to buy a shovel.
Telling on yourself.
I had to buy a shovel when it snowed. That's the only reason why I went there. And and I think I had to buy salt. But that's not my norm.
Light bulbs. I love Home Depot for
go to Walmart and Target for that.
Okay, well then you're still in Walmart and Target.
Right.
But my point is, if you're handling responsibilities because you're grown, at some point in time over the weekend, you will be in one of these stores.
But can I ask you a question though? My question to you is that, because they said that the old people go to Acme.
You know what?
Right? No. Listen, they said the old people go to Acme, and ShopRite is for and Aldi's. You're not getting nobody your age.
Number one, where is Acme? And number two, we're not going to talk about Aldi like this because I'm part of that group.
No. I'm not trying, but younger people shop at Aldi's. I shopped at Aldi's when I was in college.
I shop there now.
Okay.
And I'm part of.
I'm more of a ShopRite girl now.
No.
I don't frequent Acme. I like their fruit and stuff, but I don't really frequent. But I heard that the older people go there. I just want to know.
I don't even know where an Acme is at this point in life.
Don't do that.
No, seriously. Find me one.
Westfield?
That's Trader Joe's.
No, hold up. Scotch Plains. Anyway, my mother still goes to Acme, so maybe I'll ask her.
Where?
My point is there an age range people should be looking for?
I feel like we are women of a certain age. I feel like 30s and 40s, according to what I saw, this
That's
weekend.
Why I want you to give us some tips.
Yeah.
Not me per se, because I'm
no. I don't need any tips either. But I'm just helping everybody else out.
We're both taking.
We are both taken, but I'm just helping everybody else out. That in the event you are looking, and don't get dressed up and duded up. You see, you got your necklace and stuff on, your hair done. I got on rhinestones and stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're going to come across as unattainable because you're walking around in stores with all that on. Biking shorts and a baseball cap. Go. Saturday morning. Get up and find you a partner if that's what you want.
Really quick though. The shoe attire. What was that looking like?
I had on sneakers.
What kind?
Nikes.
What kind?
I mean, I don't own Jordans. Aren't you buying?
You don't even wear sneakers.
Aren't you buying me some for my birthday?
Lies. Yes, I am. You only wear 2. So
I have.
What's that? $40? You want me to buy you 2 pair? Like, anyway. Yes. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you do find. I will say that you find random. You find dates and whatever random people everywhere. I will tell everybody that for me, I met mine online, which I thought that I never would be the online person at all. I just thought, and one day, me and my other best friend was like, let's sign up for this or whatever. I decided to sign out. I tried it or whatever. I found someone initially.
Yeah.
Thank God, God gives you second chances. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So I'm super excited that I met the person that I met via online. And I just keep saying the person. You guys all know because I pretty much everything. But I'm glad that I met her online. And she, like me, did not belong online. Okay.
Right. Well, I told that story years ago when I tried online dating and
you didn't have a match.
No, they told me I wasn't compatible with anybody. Literally, eHarmony said to me after expanding my territory from New York and New Jersey to Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Delaware. They had expanded my age group from whatever it was at the time to older and younger, and literally told me on a Friday night in the rain, I will never forget it, I am sorry, we will give you your money back because you are not compatible with anyone. And
but at least you're compatible now.
Right. Listen. So that was the end of my online.
But what's funny is I will say that, and it's ironic because what I did was when I didn't give up. Thanks to you, I did not give up. You said put yourself back out there, and that's exactly what I did. And when I put myself out, I enlarged my parameters, which means I upped the age. Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't even have met her because she wasn't in the age range that I initially put on my profile. Yeah. So I happened to up, and she came in the, in the parameters. Yeah, that's funny. We always laugh about that. Yeah, and, it was the eyes for me, but whatever way he was looking, it was the eyes for me.
You know what?
It was the eyes.
And see, and for me, I guess mine was more traditional means. Now, it wasn't Home Depot, it wasn't Walmart, it wasn't Target, it wasn't even the grocery store.
Tell us, Chanel, where it was.
It was Total Wines. I was on the way to your birthday.
Wait, I always say, had I not had my party in Jersey City, you probably would not have met him that day.
No, I wouldn't have.
Because what would be the reason? You wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be on in that part of New Jersey going anywhere. But I was heading north to Jersey City for your birthday. He was heading south to Woodbridge to his cousin's birthday. And both of us were stopping to buy bottles for these birthday parties.
For the festivities.
Right. So it wasn't a big box store and it wasn't a Saturday morning. It was a Saturday evening.
So what you're trying to say is the liquor stores is.
I mean, listen, everybody that drink buy alcohol. So, I mean, that might be a place too. I mean, it worked for me, even though I wasn't looking, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it'll work for some other people. But all I'm saying is, for those where the liquor store hasn't worked for you yet, put on a pair of biking shorts and a baseball cap and take your behind to Home Depot.
You don't have to be done up, is what she's saying.
Please don't be done up at all.
Got a question for you.
Yes.
My question to you is, and just to the single people, I just want to hear this. What do you think now that we're actually coming out of the pandemic? So I got a loaded two-part question. The first part is, because I had this conversation this week, and I just want to know your take on it.
Okay.
Your take about us being in the pandemic and us being able to, us, meaning me, you, and everyone else, our lifestyles kind of changed because we were in the pandemic, which means we were able to spend more time with family and do different things. Now that the pandemic is kind of lightening up and parameters are not as strict as they used to be, tell me, what do you think about the change in relationships? What do you think is going to happen with the change? Because everybody's used to everybody being home and not pretty much doing anything or whatever like that. Now that the world is going to open up, and I had this conversation, so I just really want to know your thoughts. The world is opening up. Activities are about to be, everybody, they got that statement, catch me outside. Everybody's like, I'm being outside. So tell me, what do you think about relationships?
I think that's going to be different for everybody, the same way the pandemic was different for everybody.
But give me
the closeness. So for instance, the closeness of the pandemic for a lot of people, it brought them closer together and made them realize that they do love this person, or they do want to be in this relationship, or they don't want to be alone, or whatever their reason are for getting in a relationship or staying in it. It made a lot of people realize, okay, I'm gonna stick it out with this person. If I could do it during this time, I could do it during better times. And the same vice versa, the pandemic made a lot of people say, this ain't it. If we all about to go, I'm not wasting another moment with this particular person, and I'm not putting up with any more of what this person shells out, because life is too short, and we're literally seeing that on a daily basis. So I think the same thing, the pandemic did for relationships is the same thing that's going to happen when the world opens back up. For some people, you're going to have people that are so used to being up under each other and so used to being together that the distance can do one of two things. It can separate them, because one person is like, oh, we have a moment to breathe and I'm okay with it. And the other person may be like, whoa. I don't want this. I want to be closer to you. And now I need to call you all day, even though you're back in the office. And you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, I think it depends on the people, and I think it depends on the dynamic of the relationship, honestly. But I feel like with relationships, that can go
either
way. Yeah.
Good reply. I think there's going to be a lot of, because I think a lot of people, like you said, either fell in love or fell out of love during that time. Like you said, life is too short. I don't feel like putting up with this. And, and the other person was like, you know what? I am valuing life, and I am saying life is too short, and I'm saying, like, I really want to make it work with this person. So I did hear that, during the pandemic, a lot of people went to counseling. A lot of people sought outside help to just, whatever. A lot of people learn new things about their partners. You know what I mean? Which is rightfully so. You really didn't have a choice. If the world wasn't open, you pretty much had to be home. And that could either make or break a relationship.
Right.
But I'm just wondering, is able, are people going to be able to sustain? Because now that the world is opening up and there's more activities and things like that, like you said, people are used to, and it's really been pretty much a year and a half, really. It's really been a long time.
Can I say something that is not going to be a popular statement? The pandemic, if you were ever insecure in a relationship, was almost a savior for you.
You're absolutely right.
But now with the world opening back up and people having more options,
well, you know what it is? It's that you can put your finger on the person. The person is like, I'm coming home. The person is then like, I'm not going out.
Well, there was nowhere to go.
I'm pretty transparent, and I can tell you that I literally was never an introvert, and this year has literally made me an introvert, where I do not want to drive. And I moved down to South Jersey, of course, so I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to drive I didn't even want to go. I was just saying, like, there are times where Monday through Friday, I would be like, when is the last time I've been outside?
My car didn't move. Everybody knows I had bought a car in June.
Right.
I don't know how many times I had actually driven in that car from last June to this June. It's set
well,
in
you know,
my
daughter had my car the whole time. For whatever reason, she didn't want to drive her own. So she had my car the whole time. And now everybody thinks it's her car. Like, that's how much she had it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got people beeping at me and I don't even know them. Like, but I just say that to say, like, I just wonder. And I'm hoping that another thing is what I noticed that, and I had this conversation with Bay, and you know, she was telling me that, you know, her line of work, she just hears a lot of things, and she was telling me that Philly, there are 70 deaths in Philly already. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering if that is the aftermath of the PTSD that a lot of people have been going through. Why is an increased crime? You know what I mean?
I can't even say that it's just inner cities, because it's all over now, where you have a number of, I don't know. I feel like we're getting to a point where I feel like the purpose of, and no one's going to know the purpose of a pandemic. Only God, whatever you believe in, God, creator, aliens, whatever you believe in, is going to know the purpose of a real pandemic. In my mind, I felt like the purpose was to get back to basics. I felt like the purpose was to bring us back closer together and to focus on what really is important in life, and that is human life.
Absolutely.
And those that you have been blessed to be around, and those that you have been
and still have
and come from, and relationships, and focus on those particular things. But I feel like it's now beginning to backfire, and that same appreciation that we were supposed to have for life, now, because people are cooped up and don't know what to do with themselves, that appreciation is now going out the window, so to speak. So you have a lot of violence, and that's now picking back up. A lot of murders that's picking back up. A lot of, instead of I'm cherishing you, now I'm tired of you. And that's picking back up. And I feel like, unfortunately, what I felt like the original purpose is now shifting, so to speak.
I do want to give a shout out to those people that took the time for the pandemic, who went back to school, who opened up businesses, who decided to do a different thing to create whatever forum or platform or anything that they've been wanting to do. I totally, I just want to shout those people out, because it's amazing that you could take this quality time, this alone time, or this just still time, and create businesses and create just platforms and forums and things that you've always wanted to do. Writing books and just doing everything. Because I think, honestly, there's a lot of things birthed out birthed because of the pandemic. Yeah. If you let it, you know, and
it wasn't that all bad came from it.
No,
there was some good that came from it too.
I just want to say, one, shout out to them, and two, I remember us saying in the beginning, I'm going to just, you know, put that out there, just a regurgitated thought that we had, and that thought was, whatever your stillness was, whatever was good for you, it may not look, your stillness and your development or success may not look like mine, you know what I mean? But whatever you did that benefited you, I just want to shout those people out that literally did whatever. If it was, you know, apply for, you know, whatever job you wanted to, if people were hiring, if it was, you know, applying for school, if it was just whatever it was that you always wanted to do, and you set forth and put goals there, shout out to you. Shout out to you. And like I said, your stillness, there are some people that just, I know for me, we were always on the move. So this time to just sit still and think and sit in certain things that I did, it was actually great for my mental. You know, and mental health to me is very important. So
yeah,
I just wanted to, I wanted to quickly say that because I know we're talking about.
What do you feel like was one of your biggest accomplishments from this time period?
I will tell you, one of them was going back to school. I finished in 5 weeks. Who's counting? I finished in 5 weeks, and I'm looking forward to do my master's in September.
Nice.
For me, it was doing that. It was staying diligent. It was hard. I don't never say school is really hard, but it was hard just staying focused with all that was going on around. Every time you looked at the news, it was one of that. That was one of the major accomplishments. The second one was getting to know me a little bit better.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we say we know ourselves, but there were some hard conversations. There were some harsh realities that I had to face. There were some, unspoken things that I had to get through.
Yeah.
So absolutely, like this was the time that I had to get through that. And I feel like when the world opens up, I'm better because of it.
Well, I definitely, I want to switch gears. I definitely want to switch gears. So I'm not even going to answer the question, but I want to speak with someone who, our guest for the evening, who also the beginning of the pandemic with the line of work that they're in. And I definitely want to talk about that with them. Everything shut down. So remember, hair salons, nail salons, anything in beauty and whatever industry had completely shut down. And to go from that being your bread and butter to now we are interviewing you because now you have a full series on HBO all during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So to talk about accomplishments and opportunities and good things that came out of this, I think that our guest for the evening could speak to that just as well as we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on our guest for the evening, everybody. This is my favorite makeup artist of all time, anytime, anywhere, around the world, and star of the House of Prodigy on Legendary, that is on season 2 on HBO. Everybody, please, please, please help me welcome to the studio.
Hi. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm actually in travel, but I'm doing well.
I know you're tired. You're extremely busy. So thank you for doing the show with us.
You see my background, Jacen?
No, I love your background. That's what I'm talking about. Show us love. Show us love. I love it.
Listen, Jacen, before we get started, I want to give you a disclaimer, okay?
Okay.
I've been extremely busy, and I have not been to see my eyelash girl. I'm just telling you, I got about 3 on this eye and about 7 on this eye, okay?
Well, that means you got a 10-piece, so we still good.
Good. Okay, good. All I'm saying is don't judge me, okay, for my 3 and my 7. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Is the rest of my makeup okay though?
Oh yes, I love the color combination. I love the golden highlight. I love the brow. The skin is beautiful. I'm here for it. It's good. It's good.
Boom.
Jacen,
okay, there we go.
I worked all day. Let me just give you my disclaimer. I look like this, okay? But I did the background. So take me as I am.
I'll take you as you are. You're good. You're good. No problem.
Yes, but you know what? But then you're going to have her looking like a full queen in December anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Period.
So it doesn't matter. So we were telling everybody in our audience, we asked the question, what opportunities or what good things have come out of the pandemic? And we were saying that not all bad things came out of the pandemic. I do remember when it started, people who are from your industry, from the beauty industry, everything had completely shut down.
Yeah.
So, Barbershops
did that affect you?
Nail shops
yes.
down, yes. So how did that affect you?
The pandemic, for lack of a better term, truly grabbed me by the balls. Like, it completely shut down my entire business. Like every wedding invoice I had canceled, every photo shoot canceled, TV show canceled. So luckily, as a makeup artist that, early on in my career, I understood the business side. So I had my back office in order, luckily. So I was paying taxes and, I had all those things in order. But a lot of us don't, because a lot of us are freelance artists. We're gig workers. We don't think about, the long term of it all. So because I had my back office in order, I was able to qualify for PPP loans and EDIL loans. Now that I got that stuff, I don't know how I'm going to pay it back. But
you got to do that thing where you write it off, Jacen.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's going to get paid back. But yeah, like I think the biggest thing I learned during the pandemic was I had to kind of like stay still. And being someone who's an entrepreneur, I'm always, by the time you guys see something, I'm already on to the next project. Like, for example, just to jump ahead real quick with Legendary. We filmed Legendary in January. Y'all are just now seeing it.
Wow.
So that's how I've always been with everything that I do. Like, I do something, I'm on to the next job. I don't get connected to it because I got to find my next gig. So the pandemic allowed me to slow down, to really hone into Jacen's needs and to just rest. Like in the beginning, I was stressed, but one thing about our Almighty Father, He gonna figure it all out for us.
Absolutely.
So God figured it out for me. God has figured it out for all of us. And I think coming out of the pandemic, a lot of us are a lot better than what we were pre-pandemic.
All right, so tell us a little bit about because we're going to get into Legendary. We have time. We're going to get into Legendary, and I am going to tell you that I did not finish season 2 yet.
Right.
I do not know which house won.
Well, nobody knows yet because it's still 6 more episodes left.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So where I am is where I need to be then in episodes. So okay, good. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So before we get into Legendary and before we get into the magnificent world of ballroom, I want to stay a little bit in this world of makeup artistry right now. And what was or still is, I don't know, you tell us if that is still your bread and butter and how you got into that industry.
So makeup artistry will always be my bread and butter, but I've always said that makeup will be something that kind of gets me my introduction to the door, but it's not what's going to have me walk through it, if that should make any sense. It was more or less like I kind of stumbled into makeup. I found out about my love and my passion for makeup because of ballroom. And initially it started off as a hobby. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do makeup on myself. I've been wearing makeup since, I was in high school because I used to pick my face. And my mom had this little Avon bottle of makeup on her counter in her room. And I used to always go in to steal her makeup and mix it with my lotion, call myself Creating Tinted Moisturizer. So ultimately, in the beginning, my canvas was my first, I guess you could say, my canvas was my first client. And from there, I started experimenting with color and experimenting with lashes and experimenting with eyebrows. I mean, I look back at some pictures now and I'll be like, what was I thinking? Like, why did you add them eyelashes like that? Why was boy, you look great. Like, what? But that was my early practice. And, growing up and navigating through life, I did, land in prison for a short period of time. And being a convicted felon, it was like when I came home from jail, I was like, well, it's going to be hard for me to get a job. I like doing makeup. All right, let me take this makeup thing a little bit more seriously. So I started taking it more seriously. I landed a job working at MAC Cosmetics. I was at MAC for almost 10 years.
Wow.
I left MAC, and then the rest has kind of been history from there.
Well, that's humble beginnings.
Listen, first of all, I did not know that part of your background.
Me either.
And I'm I don't. It just makes me love you even more, and I don't know how I can love you even more as much as I already do. But for anyone who is in that industry who is up and coming now, because again, it can be anything, beauty, entertainment, fashion can be an extremely cutthroat industry. There is no love. Like
there is no love, man.
You are literally as good as your last whatever it is you did, and that's it. And
that's it. That's all.
They're waiting for you to fail on the next one. So I want to know what advice you would have for anyone else who is up and coming in that industry. And I want to make it more pertinent to this particular discussion. What advice do you have for other young boys, other young males who haven't come out yet, thinking about coming out, scared to come out, and are looking to be in this same industry that you're in? And I'm asking that for a reason. So go ahead.
Okay, so I'm answering the first part.
Yes.
My advice would be get started. You know, a lot of times we always say, "Oh, we're going to take that class. We're going to do this. We're going to do that." It'd be a lot of talk. Actually do it, and do it and be open to learning. Like, even as a makeup artist, I've been doing makeup now. Oh God, about 15 years. So about 15 years I've been doing makeup now, almost 16. And in this, I still keep learning. I learn every day. I always evolve. The trends, they change, but they still come back the same. So being open to learning, hustle. Like, the more you hustle, the more you post about yourself. You know, I had a conversation with a younger artist a couple of days ago, and they were asking me like, "Yo, how did you become verified on Instagram?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just woke up one day and Instagram verified me." But at the same time, the blue check doesn't mean anything because I put the work in behind who I am. So all the blue check means is that I am who I say I am, and I've did what I needed to do to get me to that point.
Get where you are.
Yeah.
So it's really about, you know, just hustling, talking about yourself, promoting yourself. Like, if you don't promote yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it. Like, you have to pay somebody else to do it. Like, you know, go to those events, have business cards, put yourself in those spaces, you know, always have great positive energy, because even if you're not the best artist, if you got great energy, they're going to book you just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn the rest as you go along, but your energy and, like, you know, your core values of who you are as a person, that radiates through your skin, that radiates through your artistry. So it's important to be, you know, all of those things and more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, Jacen, because, you know, a lot of times I will say, I remember back in the day, there are a lot of males in this type of industry, but it always was a female dominated industry. You weren't, back in the day, you know, it was a stigma. It was a stigma like, oh, you know, like, you know, and I personally don't like that. I thought that in fashion and makeup and whatever, men sometimes make the best artists in the world. So I think that that's what she's asking too. It's almost like, how did you overcome the stigma that was just, you know, put on you guys?
I don't think that I really had to overcome a stigma, because I am who I am, you know, and with that, I never had a closet to come out of. The same way Jacen is now is the same way Jacen's always been. I think that it became a conversation for my mother and my grandmother at my senior prom, because it was more boys there to see me off than it was girls. And I remember my grandma saying to myself, you know, saying to my mom, "Well, where the girls at?" And my mom was like, "You know, that I don't know. Like, you know, Jacen got some nice looking brothers, you know, that he be with." And my grandma was like, "Oh, I think Jacen coming out." And funny story, like, you know, "No, grandma, I ain't coming out. Ain't nothing for me to come out to. Like, I am here." You know what I'm saying? And even with, you know, the stigma, like, even with the stigma of being a makeup artist, because at one time or another, you know, for truthfully speaking, I used to always be ashamed of it, because in dating, everybody will always think that because I'm a makeup artist, I'm the most flamboyant, or I'm just always, like, quote unquote, for lack of a better phrase,
that's what I'm talking about.
Gay.
Yes.
And you have to just be staying firm in your conviction, and just stand firm to who you are as a person and as a man. And just because you decide to do something, as for example, you got a woman who may be a stripper, but just because she's a stripper don't mean she's not a lawyer. It don't mean she ain't got a college degree. So you can't judge a book by your cover. You got to live true to who you are, be your authentic self, and don't care about what nobody else thinks.
I just love that about you, because I was reading your bio for your IMDb, and you had a mantra, and it basically was be comfortable in your own skin. And I thought that was really I wish, honestly, Jacen, someone told me that when
but
I
you know
was
who told
younger,
me?
growing
You know
up.
who told me that? My mother.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it comes to like ballroom, a lot of people don't understand why it was always so important for me to be recognized as a mother, because it was my kind of like me paying homage to my mother. My mother was born with spina bifida, which is a neurological disorder that affects the spine. She wasn't supposed to live past the age of 12. She wasn't supposed to have any children. She was supposed to be mute. She was supposed to have braces on her legs. My mom graduated college. She had birthed 2 children. You know, my mother has overcome cervical cancer. You know, so many things my mom has overcome, and she does it all with grace, style, and a smile. She never wears what she's going through on her face, and she's been through a lot. And my mom always told me, like, you have to be who you are. You have to love yourself, embrace yourself, be authentically you, because that's what she had to be. You know, when growing up in the 60s and in the 70s, you know, them teasing her and calling her names, and she brushed all that off. She turned all that negative into a positive. So that mantra that I live behind, I got that from my mom. I got all of that from my mom.
Oh,
I
love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. The more I learn about your story, Jacen, I just you don't even understand right now.
I mean, from day one, I will just offer to the world, me and you. And I remember us, being at Mimi's, Jamila, and we just, me and you just clicked. We just clicked, and it was like
But that was with everybody. Well, at least all of us, both of us.
Right.
Yeah.
No, everybody.
We talked about everything under the sun, and I just was like, wow, he's just like the coolest person in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't find that authenticity in a lot of people. You really don't anymore. Everybody's fake. Everybody's trying to be something that they're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they're too scared to open up, being who they really are. And I just love that about you. Like, your personality enters a room before you do. And I love that. I love that.
Without saying a word.
And you know what taught me that? Ballroom. Ballroom has taught me that. Ballroom has shown me a way to enter a space and...
We're here.
Y'all here? All right.
Yeah.
To enter a space and not think twice about it.
Right.
You there?
I think
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. There I am.
There you go.
Yeah. So ballroom has taught me how to enter a room.
Oh, we lost him for a quick minute. Okay, listen, everybody, this is just quick technical difficulties. As soon as he comes back in, we will add him right back into the stream. What I will say is, you never, oh man, I love those people that don't look like what you've been through. Can I say that?
Yes.
I'll say that. Okay. Because I love that. I love that. With
okay, I'm sorry. I'm hearing it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
We got you. Listen, this is technology. It's fine. But
so
you
ballroom,
yes.
Ballroom has taught me how to enter a space and command the room without even trying. You know, your energy enters the building and it captivates the audience and just pulls everybody into you. I learned all these things from ballroom.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's
How do you get into that?
Well, first of all, explain what ballroom is for those who are watching that don't know. So if you don't know anything about ballroom, if you haven't watched
walk us through.
If you haven't watched Legendary, walk us through what is ballroom.
So ballroom is an underground culture that started over 50 years ago. It was actually called the Drag Balls in New York City. We stand on the back of all of our beautiful trans women, Crystal LaBeija, that really started and cultivated the scene. It's a place where you are in houses, which are your chosen families. A lot of us LGBT plus members, we are disenfranchised from our families. We are basically ostracized. We are, put out of our own homes. All kinds of that happens to us. We find houses, which are our chosen families. And in these families, you have mothers and father figures and uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters and cousins. And we fellowship. We come together where, as I always say, it's the place where I felt like my femininity was celebrated and not tolerated. It's a place full of art and color, and you could just be anything that you want to be. It's our Black Hollywood. It's our Black gay Hollywood. That's exactly what ballroom is.
Black Gay Hollywood. All right now.
Like that.
Okay. And you were saying how did you get into it? I've heard so many stories. I've heard stories from people 14, 15 years old who were sneaking into places. I've heard stories.
Yeah, that was me. That was definitely me. I actually found out about the ballroom scene from Alvernian Prestige, who is one of our pioneering icons from Philadelphia that, helped start and maintain the ballroom scene in Philly. He found me in the Gallery Mall. I was 16 years old. I had no idea about no ball. He gave me a business card and asked me if I wanted to model for Prestige, modeling company. He invited me to a model meeting. I still didn't really know what a model meeting was. And at the time, my mom didn't play with us. I was a sheltered kid. I went to church. I came home. I went to school. I was in some after school program. My mom didn't play that. So, mind you, I'm 16 years old. Look,
Jacen, and I still turned out gay. Well, go ahead.
No, me too. But that's a whole other story. Me too. But in that, I was 16. I was a senior in high school. And I actually snuck out the house one night. And I said, I'm going to go to this model meeting. So I went to this model meeting. I got in his room, at his apartment. And I never even knew that. I didn't know what a trans woman was. Or at the time in ballroom, we called them femme queens. I didn't know what a trans woman was. I thought they were women. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was RuPaul was a drag queen. That's all I knew. And that's what I affiliated that with. I didn't understand nothing. So to be in the room and everybody's looking at me like, oh, he's cute. When is he going to walk? I'm like, walk? What are y'all talking about? And he explained everything to me about ballroom. I went to my first ball and I remember being so mesmerized by Ashley Icon. Ashley Icon looked just like Little Kim. Like she looked just like Little Kim. She had like this little 2-piece orange, little tight bodysuit number on, his long blonde curly hair, these circle Christian Dior glasses, and these nails. And she just grabbed my hand. She said, "Oh, you are so cute. What house are you in?" And I was like, "I'm a Prestige." And she said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure. Alvernian is my dad." And she was like, "Oh, so you my nephew?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got in the elevator with her, held her hand. She walked me over to the table. And it's funny because even in that moment, I did not know Ashley was trans. I never knew. I just thought Ashley was a woman, which she was. And it's funny because when they called her out for Legend Statements and Stars, and for those who are wondering what that is, it's a time where they call out all the people that are talented in ballroom that may be an icon, a legend, a statement, or a star. They kind of give you, your life for or whatever. So anyway, when Ashley had came out and they were like, femme queen performance, I was like, well, what's a femme queen? What is that? And they was like, oh, that means, she's a trans woman. I was like, no way. Like, what? Because, I think at the time I'm 16, so all I knew was RuPaul and what I saw on Jerry Springer. I ain't know nothing about nothing. And it was that in that moment that it just opened up this door that I went through. And when I went through that door, I never looked back.
Wow.
Never looked back.
Wow.
All right. So legendary. How does that process work? How did you get on the show? Were you a fan of season 1? Were you a part of season 1? Like tell us the process behind that. How did that go?
So I wasn't a part of the process for season 1. When season 1 happened, we all were new to it. So we just kind of were watching it as it rolled out. And I did like what I saw on season 1. I thought season 1 was really, really dope. It was a great introduction to what ballroom was on a different level from Pose, because Pose is a period piece that kind of talks about a time frame in ballroom culture and in our lifestyle. And it's a very heavy piece also,
it is.
Which rightfully so, because there was a lot of heavy things happening during that time frame. So with Legendary, I filled out a casting audition. They had about 66 prodigies that auditioned. Out of the 66 of us, they got lowered down to 5. And luckily, I was one of the 5 that got selected, and we went on and did the show.
So when did you form your house? And okay, start with when did you form your house, and then I'll go to the other question.
Yeah.
So actually, the House of Prodigy is not my house. I'm just one of the members of the house. The House of Prodigy was founded in 2002 by Icon Man Prodigy. There was a lot of our founders that actually founded the house. It's just that at this time, I'm the overall mother of the house. So it's not my house. I'm just Well, yes, it is my house. It is my house because I also helped, maintain and build the House of Prodigy. But Man is our founder. He's one of our founders.
Okay. What goes into creating a house other than, for those who are new to ballroom, they're watching things on, like I said, Pose is at this point their tutorial. But what really goes into creating a house? Again, like you said, it's your chosen family. It's your chosen family, and it could be your family because you were ostracized, because you didn't have anyone else. So, what goes into a house?
A lot. A lot. You have, like, for example, in the House of Prodigy, we have 174 people on roster. And as the overall mother, I interact with about 174 people throughout the course of time. So you have multiple personalities that come from multiple different backgrounds. You have to style step and gear yourself to adjust with those personalities. So it's a lot. There is a hierarchy.
I love that you said style step.
Yeah, you have to style step because you can't deal with everybody the same. You can't speak to everybody the same.
I'm going to be.
You got to style step.
Yeah, I'm going to be using that. I just
even though my kids, I'm known to be at times kind of like a mommy dearest. I can be a little stern, but they know that it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of love.
Well, sometimes you just have to be.
Yeah, you have to be. You can't be nice all the time. You got to be stern. Like, I'm not playing with you. It's like, when you were growing up as a kid and your uncle would pluck you when you did, like, stop. I told you to stop, and you keep on touching it. Like, stop.
So do you have a physical home or is it a metaphorical home?
It's a physical home because wherever we fellowship is home. And when I say fellowship, it could be at my house. It could be at Man's house. It could be at an Airbnb. It could be all of us coming together once a year like we do the Prodigy Weekend. So a home is not per se a physical aspect, but it's funny that you said that because that's also something that I want to work on in the future because how they have frat homes and different fraternities and sorority homes, I want a Prodigy home. I want a Prodigy home where we, fellowship there and we, help LGBTQ youth do transitional housing. So there's a lot of things that I want to work on, to leave my piece of legacy with Prodigy behind.
Yeah.
I want to say, and I'm glad you actually brought that up because I wanted to ask you your feelings and emotions. You brought it up before, and I just want to say, I know, just my lifestyle is my lifestyle. I know that I, like you, grew up in church. Like you grew up sheltered or whatever. My mom said stay away from the boys, never told me to stay away from girls. And that's my ongoing joke. It's so funny because I used to be like, Mom, you said stay away from the boys, and I did that. But I say that I say that to say to you, I know that I know for me what I've gone through with to be straight because everybody wanted me to. I used to preach and all that other stuff, and I literally stayed straight or in a more heterosexual relationship, got married and everything because I thought that was what everybody wanted for me. I wanted you to delve into, because there's a lot of homeless LGBTQ, and I always think of all the initials, but there's so much that goes into you being your authentic self. Everybody does not accept that. Families, fathers shun that in males. Females, women shun that, in their sons and daughters. I wanted him to kind of delve into that a little bit of what he sees. Oh, there you go. Of what you see.
I don't know what happened. It went blank, but then it came back.
Oh, okay. I wanted you to delve into that because there's a lot of homelessness, in our lifestyle. It's a lot of homelessness. It's a lot of people, committing suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of mental health issues. It's a lot of lack of self-love. It's a lot of brokenness. It's a lot of trauma. Use. Yeah. It's a lot of trauma. Yeah. It's a lot of trauma. And a lot of that trauma, starts with, things that happen to a lot of people like us at a younger age, and they don't know how to overcome that trauma. And even with my kids, I always, and I hate calling them kids because a lot of them are adults. Even with the members of my house, like I always like encourage them. Like I see it. Listen, I got my shrink on speed dial. I have a psychiatrist. I have a life coach. Luckily, God bless me that my mom is still here. I have my industry dad. I have my gay dad. I have my house. Like I got my village. And when stuff becomes too much, when sometimes when you pour into so many people, places, and things, sometimes you gotta dump all that stuff out. You gotta dump it. And I'm really big. I'm really big on noun placement. And I always tell my kids, like, you got to be careful of them people, places, and things you surround yourself with, because it'll be like a vulture and they'll suck all life out of you. And sometimes you got to go out and be around places where it's going to fill you up with love. And like, that's the beauty about being in a house and, being in ballroom. Like, we fill each other up with love. It's not always cookies and cream. Sometimes the shade, sometimes it can be a very cutthroat world. But, in that, there's so many positive things that do come out of ballroom.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to, I wanted to bring that to light because, we see it all the time. And we have like the highest rate of suicide.
We do.
We have the highest rate of suicide, drug use and everything. And a lot of people, I will say, because they can't be themselves, they turn to different things in order to cope. You know what I mean? Have you seen that? I just want you to delve into that.
Well, again, another testimony to today. I've been through that. Being someone who was molested by my older brother at a young age, I had to overcome my own trauma. And though my dad, he did understand my sexuality, I think that he didn't really accept it until, closer to the time that he passed. But even with that, I had to overcome that. I had to overcome that trauma. And I did at one time or another participate in drug use and different party drugs, going to clubs in New York City at a young age, to Limelight and the Roxy and discotheque and, taking e-pills and just coping. And it wasn't until I finally hit my version of rock bottom, because everybody has their own version of rock bottom.
Yeah.
And when I hit my version of rock bottom, I was sitting there in that cold cell. And I kept saying, I'm not supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't where I'm supposed to be. What? No, Jacen, no. And though I had a lot of people telling me what I needed to do, you didn't want to hear that. You were young. I was, again, being a sheltered kid, I finally got a taste of freedom. I went to, my life is so, I need to write a book now that I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sitting here like, what?
I need to write a book. I did go to college on a full academic scholarship at Dell State. I lost my scholarship because I wanted to be a spectacle and didn't want to be respectable. And, and being a spectacle and not being respectable, I also am very glad that my growing pains didn't leave permanent stains on my life that hindered me from being a 38-year-old man today, standing firm in my conviction, true and authentic to myself, and able to, all the things that I've learned over these years, pass on to others. Because I ain't going to talk about it if I ain't been through it. I ain't going to talk about it if I ain't lived it.
You just gave 16 bars right in the middle of that whole... You just gave 16 bars right in the middle of that whole thing.
Look, you just want to scream bars.
Right. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what's the hook? What can I start singing now? Just to go on the end of that before we go back to the next one.
What's the hook?
What's the hook? You know what I mean? First of all, I just, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that, because that happens a lot. And I don't think we, it's like you said, we go through, but it's funny because I always say that the chosen ones are always those that go through so much. And I think that we have to go through so much. I think we have to go through so much, Jacen, because we have to, it's almost like God using us to tell, okay, I've been through that. I got you. You know what I mean? I've been through that. I got you.
I got you. Right. I've been through that.
I got you. Nothing, right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes a good story. Like it I don't take back nothing that happened to me. I don't, everything that happened was supposed to happen when it happened. And I'm just glad that I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just be an inspiration, whether you want to be or not. You're just an inspiration to so many people. It
took me a while to accept that though. It took me a while to, because I don't want to be dehumanized. I'm human. I make errors. I make mistakes. I don't always speak well. Sometimes I say things that are not, orthodox. And I don't want to be held to that. Like, just accept me for Jacen. Just let me be.
Listen, whether you say it's scrimps or shrimps, either way, you're going to be an inspiration
to someone.
No, but I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate it.
Number of people. No, I love it. I love it. Let's get into your time period on Legendary.
Yes,
let's get into your time period on Legendary. So for those who haven't saw, spoiler alert, okay, you should already be in season 2. Look, you should already be in season 2, like I am.
Yeah, you should have been watching.
You should have been watching, like I have. But what was the thought behind the theme where you guys came out? So you guys had a boxing theme.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, put us there. You guys are sitting there, you're being creative, you're saying, "Ooh, we should do." Take us from there. Go ahead.
What was the conversation like?
The Prodigy comes from Philadelphia, and with it coming from Philadelphia, can y'all see me?
Yes.
Yeah, got you.
There you go. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. With the House of Prodigy coming from Philadelphia, it was one of them things where like we wanted to kind of pay tribute to Philadelphia, like with the Rocky whole movie, the whole like we're coming to knock out the competition, like whole type of boxing type of vibe, like that was the whole feel for it. And like a lot of people don't know, we only had 5 days to complete those looks. Like luckily, one of my house members, my son G, he's a seamstress and he's an amazing designer. Like he created those looks in 5 days.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait. So wait a minute. Tell us, because you said that you filmed in January. What is the time period from being chosen to filming to you guys actually being on
execution? Yeah.
Everything happened so fast. I feel like we went from casting to we're leaving. And I'm like, oh, we're leaving? Oh, okay. And like, for me, it was a thing because I had to block off my schedule. Yeah. And I ended up leaving. So I'll even give you that process too. So we were quarantined for 14 days in our hotel room because of COVID.
Gotcha.
We were tested for COVID every day. On top of that, I was filming a TV show with Eve, and I was working with her, doing something, and I left 2 days.
We can talk about that afterwards because that's coming out soon too, right? What is that, Queens?
Well, I can't say what it is.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming out. I can't say, but it's coming out. Yeah.
But you didn't say it. I did. You didn't say
it. So I was on work, working on the TV show. So I got the quarantine 2 days late. So in quarantine, we had, was given a filming schedule. We knew, what we had to do, and everything just happened so quick. Like it just happened so quick. Like everything happened so fast. But it was an amazing experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was dope. It was really dope.
Now, question for you: did you do the makeup for anybody outside your group, or you just kind of stayed in your house?
I am Mother Prodigy. My team comes first.
I'm just saying. Like, did anybody see y'all and be like, "Yo, could you hook me up?"
No, they had a very amazing makeup team, an Emmy award-winning makeup team. I knew the makeup team. A lot of them. Tonya Green, she was the key makeup artist. She's an amazing makeup artist. It was even funny because I'm usually funny by my face. I don't let everybody do my face. But I sat right in their chair like, okay, y'all do me. They're like, Jacen, you don't do nothing. I'm like, I want y'all to do something on me. Like, y'all could go ahead. Y'all got it. So, no, it was, they took care of us. They took good care of us.
Oh, good. Okay. So you wasn't really working.
No, I was working. We had to come up with choreo. Come up with looks. I was working.
But I'm just saying, as far as like a makeup artist, you wasn't doing that part of it. Like
no, not that part of it. No, not at all.
Okay.
So tell us about the choreography part of it. So again, you have how many days from you're going to be on stage to you're actually filming on stage? How long do you have?
It was about a week. We had about a week, and because we're so creative, and again, I'm not a voguer. So I know how to vogue as far as like always face performance, but when it comes to Vogue Femme and New Way, that's not my forte. I'm a vanity kind of person. I walk face.
What's New Way? I know everybody that's watching is familiar with voguing, but what?
So New Way is like contortion and like, stretching and hand and arm control. Like that ain't my thing. My daughter Deja Vu, a master at that. Like that just ain't me. I can't do it. So even walking into this, the beautiful thing was I was able to be a student and not be the teacher. My children were teaching me, because in order to be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. And I sat back and let them lead. Like y'all show me what y'all want me to do. How do y'all want my body to move? And it's important for me to be that way because, like, again, like I don't vogue. So, but we gonna make this do what it do, and we did what needed to be done. I'm gonna say this: I don't think there was enough consistency with that judging. The judging is a problem for me, but. It's not the end that you'll hear from the House of Prodigy. What happened on that show is not an example of what happens on the ballroom floor. So,
Jacen, you're absolutely right.
First of all,
you are.
I watched, okay, and I'm sitting there like, clearly we know who the winner of this is.
I didn't understand it.
Once they didn't understand it, and I'm sitting and I'm like, how is this not? But I'm not a judge.
And not that we're biased. No, seriously. Not that we're biased.
No. I would, I know y'all aren't speaking from being biased, because like even me, like I can keep it real. Like a lot of houses, they showed out. Like they showed out. Like I ain't think we was going home though, but we did, and it's fine. But
no, a lot of houses showed out, but when it came down to you and the other house, and you guys were they were doing a competition. Your girl,
Deja Vu, yeah,
everything, and being in between her and I don't remember the other girl's name.
Corey
Icon. I'm sitting there like, how? If this is the deciding factor, how does House of Prodigy not win? I was so confused by that. I'm sitting there watching it like.
I didn't know what they were. I didn't know. Is there like something we don't see?
What else were you looking for?
Is there like something on the paper? Like,
what else were you looking for? Did you not see her braided ponytail? Did you not see it? They were looking for hair. They were looking for voguing. They were looking for
uniqueness, originality, like your own. Yeah.
But you said. What happened on that stage isn't necessarily what happens in ballroom. Explain what you mean by that.
So meaning is though, like, there are a lot of houses that are on the show. The show is the show. It's television. But, what happens on the ballroom floor, that's a whole different situation. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still some questionable judging that happens in ballroom. But, what happens on that, what us getting sent home on that show, ain't even a reflection of what happens in ballroom. That don't even happen. So, I mean, I ain't gonna sit there and make it seem like we win everything, but we rarely lose on certain things. So, you take it with a grain of salt.
Explain the significance of winning in ballroom.
It's bragging. It's like it's like we turned it out the ball. I won. Yeah, girl, you be mad. I'll get you next. Get me next week, and you ain't gonna get me next week. But it's all it is. It's all competition, and no matter what house you're in, all of us are family. We all fellowship outside of being in our chosen organizations. People sometimes leave your organization, go to another organization, or it's just one big dysfunctional, amazing family.
Listen, so. Who creates the rules? Who creates the rules of ballroom? How do you know, you can't do this or you should do this? Are there any rules? Where does that derive from?
I wouldn't say there are standards. I wouldn't say rules, but there are standards to how certain categories, you walk them and you represent them. As time goes on, those standards change. The goalpost moves a little bit. Like, how one style of Vogue is today, it wasn't like that yesterday. Like now, I see more influences of like more hip hop and breakdown dances and stuff like that in Vogue, and it's more dramatic and less soft and kind. Because like, for example, when Angel Chanel had battled Becky Lux in the first episode, Angel is a representation of more soft and cunt. She does more like feminine movement.
I'm sorry, soft and what?
Soft and cunt.
Oh, okay. I just.
So it's real soft, it's real dainty, it's real feminine. The movements are real precise, but it's soft. It's not backflip, dip. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a softer approach to it. Yeah. So there are certain criteria that we do follow in regards to how one obtains status and stuff as far as star statement, legendary icon. Sometimes that gauges too, but for the most part, there are standards that we have for each category. Yes.
Okay. Oh, listen. Okay.
I remember when I was younger, my first fashion show, or just ballroom, or just whatever you want to call it. I remember back in the day they did suicides, and that was like the highlight to me, because I could not imagine how people stretch to hit the ground and get back up, and I was amazed by that.
Listen, if I do that, I'm down on the floor. That's the end. Somebody come get the house. Call the ambulance. I'm done. Like that's it.
Yeah, not that I could ever, but I'm just saying. I just was always amazed at how, like, I couldn't do it, Jacen. I couldn't do it, but I just was always amazed at people that could, and it just reminded me, like, your team was just amazing, Jacen. Like literally amazing. I don't understand, but
I don't get it either.
I mean, who's to say? Maybe they'll do an all-stars or something and bring us back, like
right.
And I told my kids leaving there that it's a great opportunity to be on such a national show on a national platform.
Absolutely.
Though we may have only been on for one episode, it doesn't matter, because we're still going to be in the credits. We're going to always be in the opening sequence, and it's not about what you do while you're on the show; it's what you do when you're off the show. Because
can I just tell you
how
that
do you flip that?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you that it's exposure, one, and two, it's exposure, one, but two, it opens up doors for other things. So right. I'm sure it's not the last.
It's definitely
not the last.
If I have any blood left in my body, it definitely won't be the last.
Yeah,
like it ain't even. And the beauty about it is too, I was able to, show my members, my kids, that how to navigate in the entertainment realm. Because, though, like Deja, she's with an agency, she signed, she understands contractual things and stuff like that. But, like, showing them, like, hey, post this, push this, do this, because it's about social media presence. It's about this. It's about that. Like, push yourself. Talk about your business. Like, now that they see you, talk about this, talk about that, because that's how I built my platform. I built my platform talking about myself. Because anybody else will talk about me.
It's funny because Chanel always says, we always talk about one individual. She'll know who I'm talking about, but we always talk about one individual that we know, because we friends with a lot of celebs, and we they have memes going on about them, and they have things that they should have used in order to better their career, and they chose not to. And me and her both are like, I don't understand. Like, you should have took the memes that were created, funny memes, but you should have took these memes and really ran with it. You know what I mean? Like, opened up your platform or just created whatever content or whatever. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say said person.
Look, you see me like this? Like,
yeah, I'm not.
But you know what it is too? Like, I think that we could want something for somebody, but they have to want it for themselves.
Yes. But it's just a conversation piece that we had, that we're like, when you are given a platform, run with it. You are given one piece,
use
it. Maximize off of it. Take advantage of every piece of it. Soak it up. Like, I mean, I meet people, and it's so funny because one of my friends just said this. I'm not going to say the name, but I met somebody that was on a reality show years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had a club. Oh, so-and-so from X, Y, and Z. I'm like, girl, that came out years ago. But, okay, like, all right. Like, but hey, you talk about whatever you're a part of, you be proud about whatever you're a part of, and until it leads you to your next opportunity. So, Legendary was the start of more amazing things to come for the House of Prodigy. I was so glad for people to get a brief introduction into something that I've been a part of for so long. Because, like, you know, as a makeup artist, I never talked about my involvement in ballroom because for years they frowned upon ballroom kids. They all thought that we were, you know, thieves, or they thought less of us. But they came into our community and they stole our voguing style and took it mainstream. They stole our costumes, our makeup, our hair, our lingo. They stole it from us.
That was my next question, but go ahead. Finish your statement.
So now, you know, the spotlight is on us, and we're going to enjoy this. And, you know, there'll be more shows created about ballroom because it's so many different ways that ballroom is filled with so many different things and nuances that you can create and pull from. So this ain't the end. It ain't the end.
I'd love to see, I'm going to be honest with you, Jacen. I would love to see you guys, just like you are today, just let us in, you guys, just Prodigy, House of Prodigy, for you to let us into your world a little bit more. I would love to see, you know, more reality, more whatever of you guys in an individual basis, but together, I would love to see something like that come from it. I really, really would. Just
I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to give you too much, but just know the House of Prodigy is actually walking into our 20th year anniversary, and it's going to be something amazing and something special. And when I say that we're already working on something like that, we're already working on something.
Okay, good.
Tell us a bit about how ballroom has influenced mainstream culture. As you were mentioning how everything that has been stolen from ballroom.
People steal the moves.
Ballroom is Black history. Ballroom is pop culture. And when you look at every Housewife franchise, you hear all of our lingo.
Everything.
That is the truth.
Everything.
Shade came from here. You know, shade, the slinging of the hair, the flick of you learned all that from ballroom. It's a certain type of confidence that comes from ballroom. And you know, and I don't even want to open up this conversation because it can go a whole different direction. But, you know, a lot of my Black women that I love and adore and respect and idolize so much, a lot of how you move came from ballroom. You learn from us, from your gay hairstylist that was involved with ballroom, and your makeup artist and your designer and your friend. You learn from us. You learned a lot.
But as you said, even the dramatic, like, I mean, come on, like you said, hairstyles, the way we do our eyebrows, nails, all types of, no, seriously, like, Jacen, the truth, like, let's speak it. Everything basically that we are and do came from there. Came from there. I remember back in the day, like seriously, like, and I don't think you guys get the credit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you get enough of the, because we still in, I'm gonna say we, because women, males, whomever, just the culture in general, we steal it and keep it moving and claim it as our own.
Right, and it's
you know
not.
what I mean?
If all of our pioneers were smart back in the day, but, you know, we weren't told that we were able to do these things, it'd be so many copyright and lawsuits.
But Jacen, I was saying the capes and the style of clothes. I remember back in the day the way you guys wore jeans. We took that. The way you cut up jeans, right? We took that. All of that ripped whatever that we all wear. Where do people think that came from?
Yeah.
So true. Your answer. Mainstream culture, ballroom has influenced a lot of mainstream.
I agree.
Culture.
It influenced, yes, and I always say this, like, because it's gay, they try to erase it out of history. But ballroom culture is Black history. It is a part of Black history. It is a part of history. Period.
Yep.
I agree.
Listen,
this was a loaded interview.
Yes.
Yes, it was very loaded, right?
Unfortunately, we are winding down. We are coming to the end. We don't want to hold you up any longer than we have to, because we know that you are an extremely busy individual with all of your successes and everything that you do. But I just want to know, what are some of your final thoughts on whether it's the makeup industry, ballroom, television,
any up and coming projects?
Some of your final thoughts on it all.
Ballroom, we are here. We ain't going nowhere. Be as loud, be as colorful, be as energetic. Be ready, because this is not the end. This is the beginning of what's about to happen, and I just hope everybody's ready for this, because it's huge. It's huge, huger than I ever thought it would be. And as far as up and coming projects, get ready for Jacen. I just started my process to take my state board exams to get my esthetician license. So Jacen will be coming out very soon. It's already copyrighted and trademarked, so you can't steal it. So, get ready for that. You can follow me on Instagram, Jacen Bowman, all things social media. I always do a lot of things. Some things I'm able to talk about.
Let us spell your name right. Not Jason. Go ahead.
No, not Jason. Jacen Bowman on all things social media. I'm involved with some pretty cool things. I can't talk about too much because on gags and NDAs, so I can't really say too much, but just know we got some dope stuff coming out.
Okay. And my last question, how much would I need to make for you to be my makeup artist every day?
Look, he can't even give you a number. He can't even give you a number. Tell her.
If you want me to sit down and not do nothing and only do just you only.
So when Kim Kardashian goes into her little room and somebody does her makeup literally for her to fake go to the grocery store. I want to know, how much would I need to make to have you be my person? So every day I look like 8 billion.
She woke up like this.
Well, we talking like 20 grand a day, because Mario, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, is on like a 20K a day retainer. So you talking about 20K a day.
I'm in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I got a cosmetology license. Can I take some classes or do something?
No.
You can take the classes. Come on, get out there. Listen, I always say that the makeup world and the hair world, it's so much money to be made. It's enough for everybody to eat.
Okay.
Everybody can eat. No matter how big or how small, it's always a piece of that pie for you.
All right, so $20,000 a day for makeup. So I'm trying to figure out how much my salary needs to be. Listen, I'm gonna work on it.
And got a lot of work to do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Work on it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
No, but I'm working on it though. I'm gonna get back to you.
Okay.
I do want to say some things to you. I am super proud of you in every aspect, even just knowing a piece of your story today. I just want to tell you that I'm really, really proud of you. And I am going to say this. I am very grateful that you had the audacity to come on this show and literally be authentic and be just tell your story to us in the world. Like, you had the audacity to come and be transparent. And we love that. We love that because you're transparent every single day. Yeah, and I just want you to just keep pushing. I can't wait to see so much more from you, because I know, we ain't putting you in a box. We know not to do that with you.
Yeah, I can't fit. I got too much thighs and butt to be for putting in the box. I can't fit in there. I can't fit. No way.
But Jacen, we love you.
Thank you. I love y'all too. Thank you.
We had the honor to just embrace this culture, for you to teach us some things we already knew, but some things we didn't know. You know what I mean? So I just want to say from my heart, I need the book though. I'm gonna just tell you, you need a book.
Y'all done. This conversation done made me realize I need to write one. Seriously.
Definitely.
Seriously.
Definitely.
No, you do.
So work on that.
Yeah, work on that, and then we'll definitely have you back on. I mean, we won't have you back on for the next project and on the next one or whatever. Anyway, but definitely for the book, we need a whole sit down. We need to sit in Barnes and Nobles with some tea and just sit and discuss chapter.
We're not gonna be in Barnes and Nobles. We'll be in Shady Studios. That's gonna be the name of my studio. So you'll be in my loft space.
Okay.
Claiming it, talking about it, claiming it.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Look,
we stand corrected. We stand corrected.
Shady Studios, here we come. Listen, thank you so much for being
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I know we were supposed to connect before, but thank you guys so much for welcoming me into your space, into your home. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's fine. Thank you for being with us today. And everybody, again, please follow him, Jacen Bowman on all social media outlets. He is amazing. Are you still booking for any makeup needs or?
Yes, I am. My book will fully open next month. I had to kind of like take a little woosah before I actually walked back in my makeup door. But next month I'll open up my book again. So yeah.
Okay.
As of June 1st, I'm back out here in these streets.
Okay, everybody, please follow him. I mean, you've seen a million faces that he's done. You just didn't know that you were looking at his work. But he is amazing. My absolute favorite makeup artist of all time, anywhere.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
In this entire world. I mean, I'm trying to create events to go to just so I can call you.
You ain't had a face a beat until you had a Jacen face.
You had it. You had it.
Oh my God. Y'all gonna make my head like a balloon now. Y'all know y'all gonna make my hair like a balloon now. It's already air up here. It can't even fit right now. It's all over. It's all over.
No, but it's the truth. It is the truth. And we literally have these discussions. Even when places I go to get my hair done, this and the other, and they'll be like, oh, we need a makeup artist. And I'll be like, well, you need Jacen. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if he ain't available, I don't know what to like.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are definitely the standard. So, again, thank you so much for being with us today. For everybody who tuned in and watched today, we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening. By the grace of God, we will be here next week, same place, new show, and we'll see you soon.
Love you, Jacen.
Love you too. Thank you. Bye.